Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Token Trends Weekly Podcast, the show where we break down the noise and find the signal in the crypto space. I'm your host, Max Ledge.
And I'm Sasha Coyne. It's great to have you with us for another episode. Today, Max, we're jumping headfirst into a topic that is just buzzing with energy and, frankly, a lot of confusion: the Solana Launchpad landscape.
It's so true. I think for most people, when you say launching a token on Solana, their mind immediately goes to one place, and that's Pump.fun. It became the default overnight.
And it's a great starting point for the conversation, but it's not the whole picture anymore. A really insightful article we've been reading, a deep dive into Solana's token launchpads, makes it clear that the ecosystem has completely evolved. We're now seeing a whole new generation of tools: Believe app, Devfun, Letsbonk.fun, MetaDAO. The list is growing fast.
So it's gone from a one-man show to a full-blown festival. As an investor or founder, that sounds overwhelming. How do you even start to navigate that?
Well, the article frames it in a way I find incredibly useful, as a spectrum. On one end of this spectrum, you have platforms built for memes, and on the complete opposite end, you have platforms built for mission.
Okay, let's start on the meme end of that spectrum. That feels like the most chaotic, high-energy place to be.
It absolutely is. This is the natural home of Pump.fun and a newer player, Letsbonk.fun. Their entire design philosophy is about maximizing speed and virality. The article calls Pump.fun a meme slot machine, which is perfect. You put your sol in, pull the lever, and a token is born in seconds. There's no gatekeeping, no friction.
And that's its strength, right? That raw, permissionless energy. But the article also points out the cons. No real holder stickiness, frequent rug pulls. It's the Wild West.
Exactly. It's optimized for a fast launch, not a long life. Now let's slide all the way to the other end of that spectrum, mission. This is where you find a platform like MetaDAO.
I've heard the name, but it feels like it operates in a different universe from Pump.fun.
It does, and that's intentional. MetaDAO is slow by design. It's not for launching the next dog coin. It's for launching legitimate governance-focused projects and DAOs. Instead of a simple launch, founders propose missions, and the community votes on them with funding commitments. It's about building long-term alignment and legitimacy from day one.
So you're trading that instant viral speed for structure and trust, a completely different value proposition. Okay, so we have the extremes covered, but most projects probably live somewhere in the middle, right? Not a pure meme, but not a full-blown public goods project either.
And that's where the middle of the spectrum gets interesting. You have platforms like Believe app and Boop.fun. Their main differentiator is a much more polished user experience. They're designed for founders who might not be super technical. Think creators, artists, or community builders.
So a cleaner interface makes a real difference. The article mentioned Believe app integrates with Meteora for liquidity pools. That sounds like a pretty big deal.
It is. It automates a step that can be tricky for newcomers. It makes the launch feel less like a degen casino and more like a proper Web3 product launch. Then you have another fascinating one in the middle. It's Devfun. It's not focused on polish or memes. It's a playground for developers.
A dev sandbox. So this is where a builder would go to test some weird new token mechanic in public before going for a bigger, more formal launch.
You've got it. It's for the tinkerers and the experimenters. This all reinforces the article's main argument about founder fit. It's not about which launchpad is best, but which one is the right fit for your specific goals.
So if you're a meme degen, you go to Pump.fun. If you're building an impact DAO, you go to MetaDAO. And if you're an influencer with a community, you might choose Believe app. But Sasha, what about the risks? The article touches on things like bonding curves and the lack of KYC. That seems critical for any investor to understand.
Absolutely. Most of the meme-focused platforms use a bonding curve. That just means the price goes up as more people buy in. It's great for building initial hype, but it's incredibly risky. Early whales can buy a huge chunk for cheap and then dump on everyone who comes in later. And the lack of KYC or any real vetting on these permissionless platforms means the risk of scams is just astronomically high.
So with all this chaos and risk, how does anyone even keep track of what's happening and separate the good from the bad?
The article points to a few essential tools. You have block explorers like SolScan to see the on-chain data yourself. Then there are dashboard tools like Dune Analytics, where people build visualizations to track trends across these platforms. And finally, there are specialized tools like Token Health Scan, which try to give tokens a safety score based on things like liquidity locks and contract security. You need tools like these to filter the signal from the noise.
That makes sense. It's a complex landscape, but with the right framework, that mean-to-mission spectrum, and the right tools, it becomes a lot more navigable. The big takeaway for me is that a launchpad is a tool, not a magic wand. Rushing to the trendiest platform without a real strategy is a recipe for failure.
That's the perfect summary. Launch wisely, not just quickly.
Well, Sasha, thanks for walking us through that. That was an incredibly clear breakdown of a very messy topic.
My pleasure, Max. And for everyone listening, if you enjoyed this deep dive and want to stay on top of the latest trends in crypto, please take a moment to subscribe to Token Trends weekly on whatever platform you're using.
It helps us out a lot and ensures you never miss an episode. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.